Calling to order the Duvall Cultural Commission for April 13th, 2026. Roll call.
Commissioner Lugonis,
Here.
Commissioner Einberg, Commissioner Damiana, present, Commissioner Hanson, Commissioner VA,
Here.
Commissioner Fraser,
Here.
and Commissioner Brudnicki asked for an excused absence for May through June for traveling. So.
I motion we excuse Commissioner Brudnicki's absences for the next 2 meetings.
Second.
All opposed, say nay. All for it. Let's have it. Let's go.
You through your
All right. Approval agenda. Does anybody have anything to add to the agenda? Okay. Staff announcements.
Yeah, I have some announcements. So I don't know that we ever came back to let everyone know that we have the final planks. So these are the old planks. So we now have all the planks that were made by the artist. So those will start getting installed here in the next few weeks along Main Street. So that will, I think we're hoping to get them all up before Duvall Days if we can. And they're beautiful. They're really, really pretty pieces of art. Update on the muralist for the stairs. So the muralist that got the most votes ended up being from Spain. I don't know if everyone's aware. And I think probably a misalignment in communication scope of project. So they and no negativity here, but had expected airfare, lodging, transportation to and from the airport, and then wanted additional projects throughout the city. So we had to write back and explain. This is 18 stairs in a hidden alley in a small suburban area. So very gracious, very understanding, but we went with the next height together. With the hope that if we do have something at the scale that their talent and experience dictate, that we would keep them on our roster, but maybe not the right fit for this project. So Rita and I are meeting with the second place muralist tomorrow to talk about the project.
Who's the second place muralist?
Jennifer Shepherd.
Local, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So floats are aligned too.
Is she going to need transport from the airport?
She lives downtown. But I mean, everything was beautiful, so we're excited. And then we've already talked to the muralist that was selected for Big Rock, and that's kind of moving along, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna have a meeting with them as well, just to discuss scope of work and answer any questions they might have about the project.
And then I just talked to the mayor, and I don't know if you recall, at one point we had talked about instead of having kind of spread out ribbon cuttings for all these murals and art projects that have been throughout the city, having one night of celebration to celebrate, you know, all the work that this committee's done throughout the biennial art plan, and then do ribbon cuttings on a single night for these murals and the trolls as that work is getting complete. And so we would like to do that. And probably September is when the murals will be finished, just given what happened last year, trying to find that window of sunny weather and dry weather. So we're still planning that with, you know, being able to like go and maybe do a walking tour. I don't know if we get city rigs and drive people up to Big Rock, maybe start at Big Rock, celebrate Big Rock, and get back down here. But we still want to do that and have a night of celebration of all the art that has been added to the city in the last few years. So
In October, we could make that hayride.
Oh,
yeah, that would be amazing. So as we think about adjusting different projects, like keep that in mind, like, do we want to do some fall event to celebrate Brooklyn City? And I think that's all I have in terms of staff announcements.
That means it's time for public comment. Before you guys get up, do we have anything from email? I don't think we do.
I did.
Okay.
So first we have Mary Crane.
Hi, so I'm Mary Crane. I live in unincorporated King County, outside of Duvall.
Mary, did you want to go to the podium?
Hmm?
Did you want to step to the podium or?
Yeah, come on. So Pamela and I are here with Duvall Poetry because, well, for one thing, you've been supporting us for probably about 15 years by providing a stipend for our featured poets. And you just granted us the use of the depot as a venue. So we're here to thank you, but like, tell you what we do. So just giving a little bit of history, Duvall Poetry started in 2004. And it was started by Catherine Bond, who she lived on Cherry Street. She was a freelance writer for established poet, and she mentored teenage writers. And so she organized a poetry reading for them so that they could have the experience of a poetry reading. And I was at the first one. It was a lot of fun. And so they did it in another month and for another month. And after a few months, she started bringing in poets from Seattle that she knew. And that simply evolved into a regular thing that has never stopped. And it's gone through a number of different coordinators, I guess you'd say. I don't know at what point she actually had you guys start providing the stipend. I'm thinking it was maybe around 2010 or 11, but that's just a guess. Yeah, and so just so you know what we do, we meet once a month from 7 to 9. And we have an open mic where anybody who has poetry to read can come and be at the mic for 3 to 5 minutes. And then we have a featured poet, and then we have more open mic. It's a lot of fun. And so our featured poets they range from well-established poets with really long bios and multiple publications and, international recognition and stuff like that, to local people. I think our oldest poet was like 92. That was Nan Robkin reading her translations of Greek poetry, classical Greek poetry. But we've also had some local young poets in their 20s who had never had a feature reading before. And most of our features are from the general Puget Sound area, but last year we had one from Australia. And I know this year we're having at least one up from Oregon, possibly two, and somebody from Montana. So we just endeavor to bring in really good poetry and poets, and that inspires the local people, and they get exposed to really good poetry, and it makes them better poets, and we have a blast.
Well said. Your turn. Okay, my turn. I'll just hand out these bookmarks. Has our website on them, so feel free to check that out. Yeah, I want to ditto everything that Mary said. I joined a couple years after she did. So I was there in 2006. And I want to say that Duvall Poetry fulfills like this really important part of Duvall life, which is community, like providing an opportunity for a community, in addition to the arts and appreciation of the arts. And I think it's becoming, in the wake of COVID, it's become way more important, and it continues to be, even more important to provide that monthly opportunity. So, And I think Mary covered the ground with the history and, you know, we meet once a month. The gratitude for the venue. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's your question?
Can I be right now?
What's that?
I just want to add that the fire pit, as well as the awning or the new stage in Depot Park, is also available to use if you ever want to do something outside.
And it has power.
The awning has, or the stage has power out there if you want, but
No.
on my phone. So if you want to do something outside ever,
Yeah.
just wanted to offer that's available as well.
Wow. That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, and I want to make the point that this is like really expressing our gratitude here. We have always done duo poetry in Main Street. This is, since the pandemic, we started back up at the end of 2021. This is our 6th venue change. Prior to the pandemic, we were in 5 different places. It's been a real challenge for us. Usually, you know, it's been in businesses that are happy to host us, but then they go out of business, or for some reason or another, it's not working. So that's been a huge challenge. And it seems like every time we turn around, we're looking for another venue. So we're really grateful for this.
Yeah, and one thing that the depot provides that our previous venues did not, or some of our previous venues did not, is free. It's free. You're not under any pressure to keep the restaurant going by ordering a meal.
Right.
So it makes it more accessible to more of the population. Yeah, so what else? Also, Peter, I can't remember his last name. Messenger. He just joined our group and he's emceeing for us sometimes. And he put up just asked the question, what kinds of cultural collaborations could we do? Maybe it's with this body, or maybe it's with the King County Library System. And one idea that Peter had was to add our voices, or the group's Duvall Poetry Voices, to a website, like Duvall Cultural Commission website, or Duvall. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so a lot of fun kind of collaborations could be in the future.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd like to encourage you to come and check us out. So as you know, we're Tuesdays at 7 at the Depot.
Okay. First Tuesdays.
First Tuesdays, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also want to recognize Jeremy Rupkin, who's a part of our group too. So there's 4 of us that are currently emceeing, organizing and making sure that the website's up to date and that it actually happens. So
We have features.
yes.
Oh, thank you so much for coming out.
Yes. Thank
We
you.
really appreciate you guys.
If there's anything we can do for you, please let us know.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for noticing us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for providing this community.
Yeah, you know, we're kind of like been quietly doing what we do all this time, and we're really off the radar for a lot of people. They don't know what's going on, but
I've been in 15 years, I didn't know on TV had a poetry reading every month.
See, I feel bad because I knew, but things just kept, just kept conspiring. We kept so that I couldn't go.
Somebody got a newcomer last week. Said she got a notice in the water bill.
Yeah.
We put it in the newsletter.
Oh, excellent. So that's how she found out about it. It did have I think it said 7:30, or she thought it said 7:30, so it should be updated.
Yeah,
That's yeah, so yeah. But she was so excited to be there.
All right.
Very good. Good to know that works.
Thank you
very much.
so much.
Thank you.
for coming.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Look at that, large city.
Yeah. All right, on to existing business. Election of chair and co-chair is our first order of business. We only have 4 people. I'm gonna suggest that we move this to next time.
Man,
You may.
I would like to propose the opposite, that because we have quorum, it seems people are always done. I propose that we do it now.
Okay,
I did ask Rita earlier if having married chair and co-chair would be an ethical problem, and she doesn't believe so.
okay.
There's nothing in Robert's rules that prohibit that.
Then I would like to propose that our long-serving vice chair, Alyssa Gay, be nominated to chair this.
I do not want to chair
You don't
this.
want to? Okay, well, I guess that's,
Pays attention.
Yeah,
all right. How does Crystal feel about it?
Uh,
I was going to say would be a lovely vice chair.
Am perfectly fine accepting either responsibility.
Then I would like to, am I making two?
You make a
Okay,
motion.
I would like to make a motion and nominate Crystal Fraser for chair. And Jeremy, you said that you had some experience with this,
Yes,
in your youth.
yes.
Was it the kind of thing you would like to step up and handle?
Maybe.
would you like to be co-chair for a while first?
Okay, yes, sure.
All right, then further, I would like to nominate Jeremy,
Lemon.
say it again,
Lemones.
Lemone, beautiful, to be co-chair.
Second,
Okay, I can, because
okay,
we have to.
we have 2 motions at the same time, that's sad.
So, the slate of candidates has been moved and seconded. So given that, I don't think you have to abstain. So all in favor of the slate of candidates that includes Commissioner Frazier as chair and Commissioner Lemonis as co-chair, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I have it.
Looked into office.
Thank you for your service, Commissioner Gay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
happy to share.
So does that mean Crystal starts chairing the meeting now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
Jump in, the water's fine.
Right, thank you. I hereby appoint Melissa Guillet as meeting secretary. All opposed?
I will type your notes.
All right, thank you. That concludes election of chair and co-chair. We move on to the Color Pop project suggested by our previous chair. If I recall, this was the proposal from Commissioner Hernandez to identify some places around the city that could use like a little splash of wall or a color on retaining walls, boulders, features that are normally kind of gray and dull, just to brighten up some of the city landscapes. And as I understand it,
No, you got it.
as I understand it, we're not sure whether to move forward with this or reallocate budget.
And I understand we haven't gotten a lot of submissions for this.
Here,
That was a project that I believe the cultural commission was gonna go out and see spots in the city that they recommended for the color pop. And so I believe Commissioner Damiana had a couple of spots and maybe Commissioner Limona.
I wasn't clear where we submitted them, if it was just being collected via email or, but I identified a few as well.
Oh, perfect. Well, yeah, I think we're in the window that if we're gonna do this project, we need to do it in the summer.
All right.
So I would say by the next meeting, we have to decide if we're gonna do this or not and select some locations. Because our painting window is really small.
Agreed.
Can I ask, I know that in my mind, I was unsure of the size of these, because I was thinking they'd be like, at least 3 feet, say, and then I heard someone else say maybe they were only a couple inches. And also if we had a palette chosen, and also what the budget is and what other options might be.
So I can work through some of that. So the budget for this project is $2,000. So we're not talking, large swaths. It really was intended to be a pop of color here, a pop of color there. I would recommend, but certainly up to this commission, to use the color palette that we chose for the Duvall mural, just because it's a known color palette that we've adopted and voted on, and would offer consistency throughout the city.
Yeah, my thought was always that it was going to be like a brick here or a couple of rocks on this wall or some like things that can stand out a little bit.
Do we know what the cost is per area?
I'm trying to recall how much paint it took to paint the background of the entire wall for the Duvall mural. I wanted to say that was about $2,000 in paint for that entire mural.
So if we identify, just let's estimate like 10 2-foot by 2-foot areas around town in color,
Yeah.
like that would fall within the budget.
Yeah, I think you're talking about, 10 prominent spots that like, oh, there's a little color there. It's not to replace the equivalent of a mural, is the way I understood the original.
Yeah, it's just small spots to liven up all of the bare brick formation we have around town.
One thing, we have to make sure that they're in like right away, like they're part of Duvall's city and not like private property. So it's I don't know how retaining walls fall into that or things like that, but
Some retaining walls are city and then some are HOA owned. So I'll give you an example of what is not in the city or we couldn't say yes to. So if you go to Toll Brothers where the clubhouse is, there's some retaining walls around the clubhouse. Those would not be city owned property. Alternatively, on 3rd Avenue, as you're traveling along 3rd, there are a couple large retaining walls along 3rd. Those are city right away that we could say yes to, city infrastructure.
yeah, and that is specifically one thing I like for that project.
So with that understanding, do people feel, I motion we move forward with this project to complete over the next month? Or not, sorry, to finish identifying and assembling a spreadsheet for locations to color, identify 10 locations to add a pop of color.
I said it.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Did you have a comment?
No, I was just, still ambivalent about it. I'm like, oh, do I want to make him? I mean, like, I want to make Jen happy and I think it'd be cute, but I don't, it doesn't sing to my soul.
Yeah.
There.
But yeah, no.
Rita?
Would it be possible to get everyone to email me their locations by May 4th? That way I can create that Excel spreadsheet and have it ready for May 6th when we send out the agenda.
Absolutely. Would it be easier for us to just assemble a Google document and share it with the commission members?
Yeah.
That'd be great. And you can list like any idea and then we can vet it.
Okay.
And come back to say, oh, this one's doable, this one's on private property. Yeah, so what we've been looking for is just all your ideas, no matter where they are, and then in whatever file we have, we'll vet them with our public works director to say yes, no, doable, not doable. If we know that Comcast is gonna come destroy it right away, we're like.
I mean, that kind of goes for anything in the city.
Yeah.
Question, On the communication part, we can email back and forth, right? It doesn't have to be discussed here at the meeting if we have ideas or questions about this project. What's the,
So you can email Rita,
Okay.
but you cannot email each other.
okay, just want to make sure.
Want to avoid, what's called meeting in.
In a running meeting, yeah.
Okay.
That said, is there anything you want to discuss now before we move on to other business?
So when we find a location, I just want to be clear about what we're looking at. You're gonna verify if it's city owned or not, or do we need to verify that?
No, we'll do that for you.
Okay.
So all ideas are welcome, and then we'll cull the list for what is in the city right away, and we can say yes to.
So I'll put together a spreadsheet that'll have like a list of locations and suggestions, and we can just share that with the city. But yeah, I think in general, it's just small places where you think a patch of color would really help things pop or feel homey or fun or.
Yeah.
Moving on to new business, World Photography Day flyer.
So we took the discussion that we had last meeting, you guys decided on the 3 categories, the age groups, so we put everything together on a flyer. Presented by the Duvall Cultural Commission, just wanted to get your approval on the direction of the flyer, and do you have any feedback?
The last one.
Oh, will you page down, Rita? I think we put the date at the bottom too. Yeah.
And is this a public event on Friday, August 21st? Nice.
Yes.
Does this have information for where to submit or? I don't see anything on the
It
flyer.
does not, yeah.
Yeah, do we
So
want to put a
with-
QR?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say we can create the web page, which will have the more detailed information and exactly that with the QR code.
Yeah.
So scan here for more details.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna suggest, just.
Yeah.
Over the city of Duvall logo or something like that. Just information on where to submit or where it'll be held or.
Yeah, and I don't have a ton of experience with photography, so we probably need to look where other places have done it and describe in detail what we're expecting the submission, like in what format and size. Yeah.
We were also discussing prize money last time
Mhm.
as well. I don't know if we came to any conclusions on that.
We did,
Ownership
Yes.
or display rights discussed.
yeah.
Okay,
And how recent the pictures need to be? Is this all like within this year? What?
I mean, I guess it's up to you all if you want to place that limitation. We didn't discuss having any limitation on when the picture was taken.
Okay.
I think we could get some really fun stuff by going back or keeping it open.
Yeah, I like that too.
Do we need to vote to approve this, or is this just kind of?
And we just want your feedback.
Maybe say where it's gonna be as well. And if there's gonna be like. It's gonna be August. Gonna have a lemonade stand.
Submissions due by,
Oh,
Oh, yeah, submissions due by.
Mhm.
and do we wanna consider having like one for little kids? Because there's such a huge like skill gap between. You know, like elementary and high school.
we were trying to keep the category, it's kind of small. If, you know, I would be all for like including a bunch of kids photos, I think that would be
Yeah, I
awesome.
think
Maybe up to 10, you know?
Yeah,
there's,
there's no prize money or anything, just kind of. For anyone under 10.
I think there's definitely room for like community favorites or like commissioner picks or whatever we want to call them. Where we
Called out honorable mentions and things like that.
We can mock up a webpage with some of the stuff and bring it back.
So would you want a
Yeah.
10 and under group, or do you wanna do commissioner picks or
We should vote on that.
Probably, I would think, I would feel like unless we want to expand the potential prize budget, we'd probably just keep it to these two categories.
I would agree. I think for the contest part, 18 and under is or 18 and over and 18 and under. That should be 17 or over 18 and 18 and under, because I'm pedantic.
Or vice versa,
Yeah,
17 and under, 18 and over.
yeah.
So otherwise, what do our 18-year-olds do?
Oh, yeah.
They rebel.
Mhm.
Their chances. Not there. Did anyone else have any thoughts on it?
I do. Just it's just the kerning and like you have a couple of orphan words. I don't know if you can just kind of fix the orphans a little bit and just read a little bit better.
We've also done layout.
Oh, I like.
Did you want to vote on 8 categories?
No, I like it. I just wanted to throw it out there as another possibility.
I like the idea of showcasing like kids' photos.
Yeah.
So we can ask that people specifically mention their ages if they're submitting,
Let's look at
or
that.
if they're submitting to the under 18 category.
Neat.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited to see this. We've got a tangent that's bothering me. If we could go back. We changed it.
Yeah.
So the corner right here is just ending on this line. So we either need more overlap or no overlap.
Okay.
Sorry, graphic designer.
No, I like that.
They originally were all kind of overlapped, but that one went under that one, but I was trying to space them out a little bit more.
That's good.
Like I said, just be pedantic.
Well, no, these are good, and I think putting that we'll have a reception on that day, you know, we'll add more detail.
Yeah, since you guys are designers, is it, what is the norm, like when you're doing a flyer, do you wanna put as much info as possible, or are you supposed to keep it vague and point them to where all the info is?
For something like this where you're having everybody's attention, you kind of want to make it clear like what the categories are. That you've got a submission deadline and that, you know, there'll be an event, you know, here on this date at that time. But otherwise, yeah, QR code, it spells out details. You might actually take out the information on each of the categories, just mention the categories by name, and then have more information on the website.
Oh, yeah, with like reception and that kind of thing, submission details. Okay.
Cool. Are you also a graphic designer? I'm so sorry.
Anything to add?
No, I think, yeah, I think it's great.
Great photographers in this town, so I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
We should be.
Thank you.
Any further comment on World Photography Day or the flyer?
Flyer's great, thank you.
Thank you. This is great, thank you. Usually it's just Cynthia and I like, yeah. I like it.
Let's be clear, it's us winging it on camera.
Yeah.
Either of us are graphic designers.
No.
And I can't even draw stick figures, so.
Some graphic design services, I can volunteer. Did a little bit of that last year with the park signs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
So performers at Depot Park, just a general update on that.
Yeah, so we were able to reach out to Wendy's contact for the mariachi band. And the mariachi band, they said yes, they're interested to do it, so we were able to book them, and then the poet performers, I forget who. Oh, no, not, I'm sorry, not poet performers, puppet performers from Camille, she gave us the contact for that, and they also accepted our invitation to come, so those two will be scheduled, so Cynthia and I were working on dates, cause our special events are getting quite
Yeah.
crowded. So we are to get them in, yeah, so we're excited, so just a little update on that it's actually happening this year, so.
Wonderful. There was puppetry theater I reached out to wanted twice as much as we were paying.
Yeah.
Well, and we're trying to get the puppets in during the day when the YMCA kids are gonna be down there already, so that they can also enjoy free performance while they're doing
That would be fantastic. You guys are awesome.
I want a bunch of kids crowding out the puppet show.
Wait, is this puppet show like for adults or is it for kids?
Yeah.
For kids, okay. I'm like Shakespeare in the Park.
everybody. Here we can, go to a different direction.
No, I was just curious.
I think it was Bothell or Redmond did Shakespeare in the Park just recently.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can get their contact info, see what their charges, so.
Well, isn't Tony, formerly of DFA, deeply involved in the Renaissance, not Shakespeare? I thought he did Renaissance, the Oregon Renaissance, or Oregon Shakespeare.
Oh, I know he does, I thought he did the Renaissance Festival in Oregon.
Mhm.
Maybe it's the Shake, we'll have to ask him.
Great. Well, that's really great news.
Any other comment? Any other concerns? Great. Moving on to the giraffe flood gauge. This was a proposal on the biannual plan to replace the existing flood gauge in Taylor Park, McCormick Park, with a giraffe statue with the various flood heights listed. There's been no movement on it, mostly because we're not sure what a giraffe statue costs.
And it's, yeah, our budget, so.
Yeah, so that one we
Maybe
had
we can put it-
5,000 budgeted for, and I think just based on Cynthia's experience with getting the hawks, the metal hawks. Like when we
Yeah.
started looking into that stuff, it's maybe, I believe, a little more than 5,000 probably.
Probably a little more than 5,000. And then the other question is, because of the devastating nature of the floods this year, like, is this the year to do something like art related that is not simply factual? Like right now, the flood is just more of a factual information piece as opposed to a whimsical piece. And I'm just wondering from a messaging point of view if this is the right time for that project.
Be bad optics for a fun flood related.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially after it must have beach.
Yes.
The draft, the history of this, does it have to be a draft? Is it subject to change? I'm just curious.
Oh, the giraffe is a local sort of long run. I joke. I don't even remember
Yeah.
where it came from.
I think it was police water originally.
I think it was police water from like
Yeah.
12, 15 years ago. They reported wild giraffes running free in the valley.
Oh,
And ever since then,
okay.
there's just been an ongoing joke of giraffes in Duvall.
Become kind of an urban legend.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Some people hate it, some people adore it.
Okay, I was curious about the draft. I'm like, okay, there's like no other animals down here.
We also have we have the native birds mural and
Yeah.
statues going up and things like that. It doesn't have to be a giraffe strictly, it's just leading into the local sort of joke / cryptid /
I think if we do an artsy paint, oh, sorry, somebody.
chair recognizes Commissioner Damiana.
I think if we do an artistic plug gauge, then it should be something that's, I don't know, kind of more nature movement, just something that's beautiful, but maybe not a particular joke that not everybody really is in on.
I like that though, because it's a community joke. It's something that the community understands, but And then we have people who move here, they have put the ground, and they're like, oh, this is the history of that, and then they become part of the crew, like part of the town, and it's yeah, I don't know.
I like the river giraffing idea, that one of you had, I think, but.
I
for
think
the
I'm
floodgates-
sure to say yes to that.
I'm so sorry for that. So I'm not like, I'm not team anti-giraffe, I just think I think that your idea that it might be a little insensitive at a really hard time.
Yeah.
It has a lot of merit.
You know, comment here.
I think one way to kind of cover that a little bit, even if we were to decide to do it this time, is to have an explanation of the story. That way those who are not local can read into the story and be part of it. So we're kind of pulling them in. And maybe it was also kind of tied into how, the area is always changing, there's always floods, that even though it's sad times, it could be a positive thing to look at. So like a community comes together here to recognize, we can still have fun, but also come together in serious times. So now that I know the giraffe and there's a little backstory to it, now I feel like there's a little bit more that we could all come together on.
Yeah.
So if it is a giraffe, maybe there's an explanation plaque that goes with it, would go a long way.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to do, but also I think kind of agree that this is not the year for it. Because we're gonna have a lot of, like, it's something that I would like to be visible from the beach area, so that the kids can see it. Have this fun giraffe statue thing.
Online.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be across the thing.
I didn't hear that. I'm not fully sure that that's not gonna.
Yeah. We'll make sure they get fun, but.
This is the year for it though, because it was so devastating. And what if could we have a sister city, like somewhere where there's giraffes? Like Kenya, perhaps, and we could talk about, their water situation. Just thought.
I have never looked into the sister city for a program or process.
Right. I just know it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Mhm.
We could send them some elk or geese.
We're just
The sister city?
Was it sister city for the clock in front of City Hall?
I believe so.
Oh, that's new to me.
Yeah, it's generally a bigger thing. That's something we would have to cancel, I think.
Oh, yeah, city council would have to approve of doing sister city.
Oh, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, because it costs 5,000, because right now we only have 5,000 for it, it's probably gonna cost a lot more, so that we
Like,
push it to next year, and then we can cannibalize some of that, and then save some of it so that we can propose it again in the 2027 to 2028 buy-in. Does that sound good?
it would also give us a chance, if we know it's going to be more than 5,000, to plan a fundraising event if it's something we want to follow through on. I guess, let's see, I'm going to motion that we table the giraffe flood gauge project until the next biennial art plan and reallocate its budget to existing projects. All in favor, or sorry,
Quick question before we do that, how important is having a flood gauge to the community? You mentioned the current one is not in.
I mean, it's there and it's working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then kick the can down the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a factual display. It's interesting though, from a historical reference point of view.
Yeah, it's got like history on it, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of, they have dates of when certain floods happened.
I mean, could some of the money, if we don't do the draft this year, could some of the money go to kind of revitalizing it, like updating it, brightening it up a little bit? Like if it needs a new thing of paint?
It doesn't really need a coat of paint. It's the pole down in McCormick Park that has all the historic floods on it, and I think this recent year just buried the pole entirely.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to do something eventually. Yeah.
I done it the other day. You can see it. It was kind of been dug up a little bit
Okay.
as the river's receding.
Okay.
So I think all the current one needs a plaque for this year's floods. Um,
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Uh,
All opposed? Alright, motion carries. Passes. I'm gonna have to read my Robert's Rules book. All right, move on to the good of the order. Does anyone have?
Biennial art plan.
Oh, sorry, biennial art plan, community outreach. I understand it. We're discussing whether or not we want to repeat the community involvement we had at Duvall Days last year to sort of get community input on the kinds of art projects they would like to see.
So, yeah. So, on page 3, and I don't know if we can pull it, but we did this dot exercise Rita, you were there too, I think. Yeah. So we opened City Hall during Duvall Days 2 years ago. Which normally City Hall isn't open, but Rita and I worked it to invite people in to do a dot exercise. And at the time, we asked for future projects. So what were people interested in? So we could build the biennial art plan. So we kind of did 2 things when we built the biennial art plan. We did 3 things. One, we did this dot exercise to see what the community was interested in. 2, we did the postcard that said, if we were to do murals, what kind of murals would you like? And then the third thing is all of the commissioners, remember you each had butcher paper and we had all of you write your ideas and then we upvoted with dots everybody's idea, which ended up in the biennial art plan. So we also have reached out to the farmers market for 2 Thursdays of tables for us to do community outreach. Which we did 2 years ago as well. We were at the farmers market asking the community to vote on murals and give us ideas for what kind of art they wanted. So that's a question is, are these engagement activities kind of what you want to do? Any other ideas so that Rita and I can start planning? And then second question, what questions do you want to ask for community engagement? So we've asked, this was what type of art you want, which was from the public art policy. We don't have to ask that question, we can ask a different question. But we're going to build boards for the community to work with. We should know by the May meeting, so we can prep for Duvall Days, which is the first weekend in June.
We should probably, if we do decide to do this, we should probably remove statuary and fountains because they're just too expensive for what we get budgeted. So I would at least say we need to think through our things a little bit better so that we can make it more targeted to things that are more realistic.
I would also ask for suggestions for local artists that the community knows about that we might not.
Yeah.
I would love to draw on a wider pool of local artists.
I'd also like to see like types of performances or entertainments, right? Like the whole,
But we have a stage.
well, now that we have the stage, but also like, I think Seattle did a promenade in the park. I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have like a picnic with a string quartet, right? Because we've always got, more aggressive kind of entertainment. Where maybe something a little quieter might be nice, but to see if other people feel that way. And also like dancing, why don't we have?
Hold that thought, I have a good of the order.
I do know Seattle has a video game music orchestra. They're all volunteers. That might be fun to bring out. I'm not sure what their fees look like, so I'll have to ask. I have a friend who's a member. Yes.
I noticed that some towns, or I mean Seattle, like out around like the Green Lake, they do live art projects where like it involves like the community, like they come in and they interact. It's a really fun project that I've not been a part of, but I've been a part of the discussion groups there, and they talk about ideas throughout the year. And it's like in this park, and they have it up for the summer for like a week or something, and it's this interactive art projects that people do. And it's like all material that's either voluntarily given or given. That might be something we could.
That's fantastic. We had at Summer Stage last year, one of our local artists came out and did live, was it sketching or, oh, yeah,
Chalk, yeah.
live chalk art. And people could come up and watch, and we had extra materials there for people who wanted to draw with them. So I'd love to do more of that. That's a great idea.
So are we listing some categories, or is this like open to discussion to like kind of help you?
It doesn't have to be these categories. The question is, if we invite the community in, what do we want to ask them?
Yeah.
To build your next 2-year plan. So this was kind of a start because we had not done any community outreach for a decade or so. We knew we were going to do murals, but like for instance, the Duvall mural, that had been budgeted in a budget and rolled over through 5 budgets and never went. And when I came on board, I was like, what is this line item in a budget that just keeps going from budget to budget? And I was like, we're gonna do the mural. Like say we're gonna do the mural, we're gonna do the mural. And so part of was, trying to like figure out what the topic and themes of the mural were. So we had very specific questions that we needed to ask the community last time. Or well, let me rephrase. On that, we had a specific question. We also just generally want to understand, like, what did the community want? We'll probably have done enough work now where we can be a little more specific with the questions we're asking. Like, do we want to promote the art? Do we want to promote performing arts in the next 2 years? We probably run out of space for murals. So murals isn't the question.
But yeah, I like the idea of asking the community what kind of art they want Duvall to be more known for. Photography, poetry, writing, painting, and that's where the commission can start trying to focus a little bit more of our efforts to cultivate.
Can we add another category, culinary art?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that would fall into the performing. I mean, let's look at the policy.
You have a
But
cookie show, don't you?
we could finagle our way.
Okay.
When I go back.
I was thinking with the picnic in the park suggestion, that would be really cool to have a bunch of like food trucks. And like introduce some of the local farmers and things that provide for the food trucks.
Let's see, so public art project types. Craft photography, mixed media, earthworks, experimental geography, mapping and walking. That combine a multidisciplinary approach to visual art making. Ornamental and functional decorative elements. Light-based or luminal art, sound or media with primarily oral-based expressive element. Video animation, portable art. And temporary performance or time-based art, which that one I think is kind of your catch-all category.
I guess cooking is time-based.
Right. Yeah, very much so.
It's also very temporary.
Very temporary. Yeah, I think the food truck would probably not fall into like the purpose of the cultural commission,
Yeah.
but some other like cooking demonstrations would.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's definitely something we could put on the list of like what performing or art events you want in the coming, year or two.
Yeah.
Include cooking, culinary arts.
Or like a tea ceremony next time the cherry blossoms are out.
Yeah.
I was thinking the reason why culinary is because like you got the Duvall, like what is it, the barn, the white barn restaurant here,
Grange.
the Grange, right? So it's like farm to table, right? There's a lot of farmers around here. It's like what can you make with all of these? You know, you have a lot of people here in Duvall who are cooking vegetables for like you can only roast them so much. So like that's the inspiration behind that.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do that at the Woodville Farmers Market. They send somebody around to the Woodville Farmers Market and they buy all the ingredients there. And then while they are at the market, they are making a dish. So they bring in a local chef and the chef has to shop the market and then make a dish from everything they bought at the market.
That's fantastic.
Right there on
Fun.
stage. Was that on stage or in the studio?
They're in a booth, so
Okay.
people can stop by. They show like their shopping basket of like what they purchased at the market. So
Oh, I'm gonna go and watch that until they steal their idea.
Yeah. We've got to have a couple of chefs here in Duvall who are willing to take that challenge and be videoed and put up on
Yeah.
YouTube or something.
yeah, we did just buy a really cool video camera, like one of those Osmos.
So else.
Have like cotton candy. Yeah, by the river.
That's not our purview, that's definitely people's purview, that should definitely be canceled.
But yeah, I love the idea of getting a little more specific of what we ask.
So I don't have to have everything tonight, but by the next meeting, like, let's come up with it so we can prep it. But what I heard so far is like, what the one question which we could put on a note card, or we could do a dot exercise. Like, what do you want Duvall known for? Or, you know, there's probably a way to rewrite this, but like from an artistic point of view, what do you want Duvall known for? Postcards suggesting local artists or that you would like to promote, like getting kind of the equivalent of like a vendor list.
Like a roster or
A roster, thank you. What type of events or performances would you like to see in the city? I mean, I feel like that's the stuff that people have really connected to. They like the murals, but you know, the New Year's Eve celebration, the things that bring people together are really where I think folks have felt a lot of value. So, yeah.
And I think maybe having like some ideas for them to vote on, like, cause New Year's Eve was great. Didn't we talk about like a Star Trek in the park or Star Wars in the park?
Turns out that Star Trek in the Park died because of copyright issues.
Oh, okay.
It's very sad.
All right, well, but something else like that, because especially I think on, you know, those summer evenings that we have, which are so beautiful, I think people want to get together and do things. Maybe an art class, maybe like a.
Bring back wine and Shakespeare.
I love what you
Maybe
should
partnering with the Northwest Art Center.
Yeah.
I don't know if this translates into a community event, but something we used to do with our friends was everybody got together, we'd assign roles more or less at random in a Shakespearean play and just read through it cold and drink wine. It was fantastic. It was fun. Everybody got a little body. It's reading through, you know, random plays without much experience or knowledge of what's going on, adding your own commentary in the middle. I think with the right like crowd of people doing improv, I think we have an improv group that meets right next door
You have an improv
right now.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
So improv, yeah, we can kind of on like similar to what the dot exercise was, but instead I'll do performances like tea ceremony, improv, and list that and see how people react to it. Sing along. So I want to bring, we haven't programmed it yet, but we're purchasing it. I want to do a pitch perfect sing along. I think people would totally do it. I would do it with no shame whatsoever.
I'd have to go.
Yeah, I think that's a grand idea.
But people like that. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
we noticed
Sounds
with
like fun.
Summer Stage 2. The performances where people really felt connected is where they knew the music, they could dance, they knew the words.
Side note, if you're still doing movies in the park, I guess, kind of thing, Pitch Perfect, sing along, perfect for that.
Yes, we are buying it. If I have insisted on it. I should have functioned on my programming.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said just
It's
get it.
administrator's favorite.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
So I think I have a start, so by next meeting, let's finalize, like, what questions we wanna ask and, what information we wanna receive.
of course, if you have any additional input.
Yeah.
Feel free to email them to city.
Okay. To read it.
Yes, please. Any further comment on community outreach plans?
All right, question.
Yes.
Are we volunteering and do we show up these booths too, or what is the city requesting us as commission?
In the past, the chair, the chair has shown up at these events, but for everyone else, they're optional.
Okay.
So you are more than welcome to. I would encourage you to get involved, but also we're all adults here with ridiculously busy lives. So
Also, I'm sure for Summer Stage, Rita and Cynthia would love your volunteer time.
The farmer's market particularly is one where the community really appreciates seeing commissioners at the farmer's market stand. City Hall during Duvall days is a little different. First of all, we can't fit that many people at the lobby. So, but certainly the farmer's market, we could really use support. And then if you ever want to show up at Summer Stage, and be in the city booth at Summer Stage to do outreach, we absolutely always.
and they'll count your ticket, don't worry.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
What days for the farmer's market? We're doing two days? We don't know.
You need to go to farmer's market more just for baked goods.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting here on time.
Down at Renton, help.
Thank you.
It's a heck of a commute. Any other questions or comments regarding the community outreach? Moving on to go to the order. City Administrator McNabb, I believe you had a comment?
I do. So today I applied for 4 grants. So Councilmember Perry, they're called councilmanic grants, and it's discretionary money that each King County council member gets to approve projects in their various cities on a variety of topics. And so some are only allowed for nonprofits to apply to, some cities can apply to. And so I don't know how many we'll get, but I did want to highlight 3 of them because they're kind of related to the jurisdiction of this group. The first one was the climate resiliency group. So if you haven't, or climate resiliency grant, if you haven't been out to McCormick, we lost a lot of McCormick. And it's where we do Summer Stage, where we do events. And so I put in for a grant to do the environmental assessment so we could start shopping for bigger grants for bank stabilization, because we're going to need to stabilize the grant of McCormick Park so we can preserve the amount of space that we have out there. The environmental assessment, we got back, the bill for that is $38,000 just to assess the damage. I didn't ask for that much in the grant, but just kind of thinking about the future of that park. To do bank stabilization in McCormick Park will be upwards of $1 million just to try to shore up that community space, because on this side of McCormick we have sandblast there, and so it's a really vital piece of city infrastructure that feeds our art community, so really important to us. So hopefully we'll get that grant. The next one we put in for was a dance series, 6 evenings of dance where, of kind of all types. So a kind of Bollywood inspired, salsa, line dancing, square dancing. What else? I just had ideas, like I gave them kind of, like, it's a 6 dance series, and I kind of threw out different kinds. It was one that I put.
Are these demonstrations or classes?
Well, not like classes per se, but get-togethers. Like we'll have like
It's like a pop-up.
a dance pop-up where the community can get together and dance on these different nights. But what I think could tango. What was did I do foxtrot? There was one where we're going to invite the jazz band from the high school to do the music. So try to do these partnerships. So I proposed a grant for a 6-night dance series to add dancing to our already overpacked summer calendar. The final grant that I put in will be in partnership with the Snow Valley Senior Center, who has a senior center incarnation, to start piloting ancillary services in Duvall. And this would be in partnership with Hispanic Heritage Month to do a series of 6 events starting in September for Spanish language senior services. And so we put in for a remind me of the name for the bingo night.
Oh, Loteria.
Loteria, yeah.
Cool.
A dominoes round robin tournament. A kind of, because it's geared towards seniors, like a gentle dance class like Fias or Rancheros. A Spanish language movie. I can't remember what else, but a series of 6 designed Spanish speaking programs in the fall of the year. So we'll see if we get any of these grants, but I hope we do because exciting projects.
Yeah.
I mean, saving McCormick is not an exciting project.
It's exciting to me. It's important to our community, I feel.
Yeah. So that's my good.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any?
And Robert's ready the order, but I did have a question about, we were gonna catalog all of the art in the city. And I'm wondering where we are with that. I'd love to see like postcards that people can, or stickers that people can collect and trade.
So that is, I'll bring it back. That isn't in the budgeted activities as much as it's in the biennial art plan as planned activity of the commission. We
Just need to make them have to get out of areas.
Something we had intended to do, but haven't specifically assigned anyone to do, so it hasn't gotten done.
So there is maintenance that we need to look at doing. Let's see, where was that? We had go back through it. There's a couple things that we were going to do. Our goals were to select our projects. Create a complete inventory with a maintenance schedule of all art within the city of Duvall. So we should put that on a future planning list, like maybe during the summer while art is happening and we've done all of our contracts and things are working, we should maybe prioritize getting an inventory together. Bear in mind, this commission is staffed by Rita and I from a chairing or a facilitation perspective, but we don't have anyone in the city whose job it is to do art.
Gotcha. Okay. Would maintenance be a thing where we ask community members to chip in? Would it be something where the commission volunteers, or is that something that city facilities?
Yeah, maintenance would be the city.
Okay.
But creating the inventory is something we would do as a collective.
Okay.
So that is on here. Well, that's listed as one of the goals of the biennium. So it's not specifically design work. So there were 5 goals of this biennial art plan. Select art projects throughout the city for a wider distribution of projects. Prioritize selecting projects from a diverse collection of artistic disciplines and crafts. Emphasize artistic engagements that emphasize community collaboration and collective cultural enrichment. Seek new and expand existing partnerships to enhance opportunities for art projects throughout the city. Specifically work to advocate with various organizations for the establishment of a creative district. And then complete a complete inventory with a maintenance schedule of all art within the city of Duvall. So we've done a fair number of those. And we've talked about the creative district concept in this group. The challenge with the creative district is that the city cannot be the applicant. And so we need a very strongly organized arts community or chamber of commerce to take on that task that the city partners underneath with, but the city cannot become a creative district. It has to be sponsored by an arts or chamber.
So like DFA or, and do they have any interest in doing that? Or
I think they have an interest. I don't know that they have the resources.
The effect, what is that?
Duvall Foundation for the Arts?
Oh, okay. Understood, yeah.
They're a local artist collective.
Okay.
Wendy works with them.
Yeah.
And Camille.
Oh, Camille does too?
Mhm.
Nice. I wish I had not missed so many meetings recently.
Yeah, and I know, based on other work that I'm doing with DFA, that they're really engaged on their community theater right now. So taking on the creative district. Yeah, it's about 18 months. I mean, it's a very big lift and you have to have a very committed partnership to do it. The city's interested, the city's very interested, but.
Sounds like we might have better luck approaching the Chamber of Commerce. Okay.
We're working with them to try to get the art and wine walk lifted this summer.
But in terms of creating the inventory, I suspect probably next meeting we'll want to create a subcommittee of 2 or 3 people who get together, 1 or 2 weekends and just do a quick tour and assessment of all the public art that we know of around town.
Yeah, this is a divide and conquer, and Rita and I can certainly participate in that. But yeah, that adds, if everybody does a little bit of it, it doesn't become a, big challenge.
It'll just be, a very boring fact-finding afternoon. Well, I mean, a very artistically enlightening fact-finding afternoon, but there'll be a lot of walking and writing down numbers.
Yeah, I think they're just like nagging me. I'm like, am I supposed to be doing something?
Yeah, we had here on page 9, we identified different partner organizations. The Seattle Astrological Society.
Astronomical.
Yeah. And we identified the chamber and DFA. And KCLS was not super interested in the book bench project. We did identify them and talk to them. So we met the goal of the biennial art plan.
Congratulations, team.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess another question maybe for Cynthia. I've never worked with the cultural commission group before, but for them to kind of reach out to the chamber, like, does that mean they would invite them here? Or would they hold a subcommittee meeting, or how could this group get in touch with the chamber, even see if that's something they're interested in?
I mean, I think we could facilitate an introduction of our chair and co-chair to the chamber president to see if they are interested in collaborating in any way on artistic stuff in the city, particularly as we start building our biennial art plan.
I would love that, at least for the chair. I don't want to speak for the co-chair necessarily.
And they're delightful.
So they're like Oh, that's right, it's like 2 people.
All right, well, we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I will write that email,
Right. Right.
Never apologize for your part.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
other comments or questions for the good of the order?
Comments on that fact to the divide and conquer, if there's like a Boy Scout troop that they might need service hours. That they divide and conquer and help us with identifying arts.
I happen to know someone whose children are very involved in the Scout.
I do know the Girl Scouts out here, but not the Boy Scouts.
They're always looking for volunteer hours.
That. Interesting.
The mayor's 2 sons are in the Scouts.
Oh.
I know where to find her.
How do you know where to find the mayor? Where to know where to find the mayor?
That's a really good idea.
Good idea. Any further comments? Anything else for the good of the order?
Thank you for taking on the responsibility.
Thank you both.
I feel like I'm a strong arm with that, but.
I guess I adjourn this meeting of the Cultural Commission at 6:49 PM. Thank you so much, everybody. Yay. Now